You've tried open trials, cold DMs, cold emails, and LinkedIn messages, still nothing's happened. This is the exact system that gets you signed. You continue trying the old way, the open trials, just randomly reaching out to agents, scouts, and coaches. Nothing is working. The truth is, if you keep doing the same thing and you continue getting the same results, and they're not the results you want, that's called insanity. What I want you to try is a new way. I'm telling you, these open trials are just an additional revenue source for the club. They're not actually looking for players. You've either done research and found out about an international academy that is gonna charge you thousands of dollars per month to go overseas and act like you're training like a pro. But the truth is, there's actually no pathway to any first team with those international academies. Maybe you're a parent watching this and you just want to brag to your friends at dinner that your son or daughter is playing overseas, but they're truthfully not actually moving up in the football world. The football world isn't a pampered world. Your son or daughter or yourself watching this is not going to be tucked into bed every night and cook breakfast for them every morning. This is a harsh world, but for those of you watching this who actually want to get to the pro level, you're here for a reason. I have a vast network of over hundreds of sports directors, agents, and a direct in to clubs all over Europe. You also have a misconception about agents. You think agents are your ticket to professional football, but I'm an agent myself. I have hundreds of friends who are agents, and the truth is they only want to work with finished products. They want to work with proven players that immediately can make them a commission. If you're a nobody, if you're an underdog and an agent brings you to a club, they get nothing out of it. What you need to realize is you're trying to reach out to the wrong people. And what we found out is there are 3 types of players in this game. There's the person I used to be. Number 1, that is the grinder. All work. Just thought that doing the work on the pitch, in the kitchen, in the recovery room was gonna get you to the pro level, but there's no pathway. Number 2, this is a unique one. We call this the dreamer. You got tons of talent. Coaches really like you, but you're trying to skip the levels too quickly. You're going to clubs that are way above your level, and what ends up happening is you're sitting on the bench instead of playing in the starting 11, which is your most valuable asset as a player. You have no strategic pathway forward. You don't know what your next 5 moves are. You just know what your current move is and where you're at and what looks sexy on Instagram. The third player we call the strategist. They have a unique system that they follow. They have a training plan. They have a technical plan. They have a nutrition plan, injury prevention plan, tactical analysis plan. They have everything on the training side to make them the most important asset possible. Number 2, they have the ability to get a remote job so they can work from anywhere in the world on their own time, and they're not being yelled at and scolded by bosses, and they're not stuck in a 9 to 5 sitting in a cubicle under a fluorescent light. Rather, they're getting outside into the sun, getting their feet on the grass, getting the natural light, and earning upwards of $6K per month on their own time that allows them to push forward with their football journey. And lastly, number 3, they go to the right club, a club who actually needs them. They go to a club where they're gonna improve their market value, where they're gonna continue to build their network and continue to build their connections to go up the level. They don't take shortcuts. There's no such thing as hacks for them. They go where they are valued. They go where they are wanted. So they feel like that big fish in the small pond, because then they dominate and media sparks about them. They get heard about. They make their own noise. And the truth is, those are our guys. The truth is, you think you need exposure, but you really need to add value. You need to be an asset. Clubs need assets. If you move with a system and a reputable person like myself and the entire RicFit team, you automatically become an asset, because clubs are consistently reaching out to us every single week for players. We get about 15 to 20 requests for players per week, And if you're in our network and you're prepared, you're gonna get that opportunity directly inside a club. So you must be wondering what the system really is. What's it actually called? We call it the Pro Player Launchpad. And the exact reason why is because it takes you from where you're at right now to the pro level within 6 months if you follow it to a T. What we do with you is you train like a professional day in and day out. So when you show up for that pro trial, you are more than ready. You are 2 times better than every single player that the club has, because that's the only way you're gonna sign. The second thing we do with you is we help you find a remote job so you can be making upwards of 6K per month. So you're not stuck in your 9-to-5 job anymore under that fluorescent light surrounded by toxic minds. Rather, you're making that money anywhere in the world, and you're connected with the right ambitious people, with a community that want to reach the same goals as you. And most importantly, once we believe you're ready, we set you up with a club who needs a player like you in your exact position. And you go in for a trial with the club. You train directly under the head coach. The key decision makers are watching you day in and day out. When you get recommended by us, you're not going to trials with hundreds of players. You're directly in the club to prove your worth and value to the club. And then they determine, is this guy an asset to our club? And what I can do for you today is I can guarantee you, if you follow our structure for 6 months to a T, you will get yourself a trial. But we have to make sure that you're doing everything possible to get there. And if you don't get that trial, we keep working with you until you do. And just to show you that the Pro Player Launchpad has worked for over dozens of players just like yourself, I want to introduce you to my good friend, Ideal.
It was thanks to him that I was able to sign my first professional contract in Romania. He helped me with my gym program, nutrition plan, he helped me with the mental side of the game, and he was actually the only person that was able to find me a real opportunity in Europe.
When he first came to me, he had no opportunities at the pro level. The guy performed like a pro, he looked like a pro, he was an absolute machine. So what I did after 6 weeks of working together is I reached out to first division clubs in Sweden, Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, but no one was interested. They said he was too old. Finally, when I reached out to the last club in Romania, they told me they would take him on a 10-day trial. They took him on a 10-day trial. Within a couple days, they said, Rick, we want to sign this guy. And just to show you once again that you're not too old, I want to introduce you to Byron, who signed his first pro deal at 29 years old. He came to me at 27, he said, Rick, this is my last chance. I'm giving it all to you. He had just had 2 eye surgeries prior, and he didn't think that he could do it. But myself and the entire RicFit team believed in him because he was a hard worker and he gave everything to every day in the gym, his nutrition, and his recovery. After 12 months of working together, I sent him on his first trials in Sweden. He went to 3 clubs. Unluckily, he didn't sign with any of them, but he was close. We still believed in him, so we continued working with him, and then we sent him over to El Salvador, where he signed his first pro contract at 29 years old. The third guy I want to tell you about is Samuel Kroon.
My name is Samuel Kroon, and I started to work with RicFit 7 years ago. 3 years later, I signed First League in Sweden.
We met when he was 18 years old. We started working together. Right away, I put him together a footballer's gym plan. He stopped training like a bodybuilder, started training like a footballer. Instantly, he saw his performance improve within a couple months. Then we taught him how to eat properly and recover properly. And he followed this consistently for 5 years. And we still work together till this day. But he made a jump from the 5th tier in Sweden to the 1st tier in Sweden within 5 years. The fourth player I want to talk about is Dan Lusegeld.
I signed my first professional contract in Armenia, and I want to thank Rick for just providing me the opportunity to go to a foreign country in an actual trial and just answering any questions that I had at the time.
When he first came to me, he was a community college player, and he told me he was dropping out of college, and he wanted to give everything to get to the pro level. He had already tried going to Spain with another agent and with another combine, which unfortunately didn't work out. Right away, we put him together, the pro player launchpad. He got everything right with the gym, with nutrition, with injury prevention, and a remote job. After 5 months, he signed his first pro deal. This guy was actually kicked out of his house by his parents because he didn't want to go to college. He said he's given everything to the pro dream and he was not coming back empty-handed. And the last player I want to talk to you about is Mario Miranda.
He made a specific nutrition plan made for me and a specific gym routine made for me. Now I'm here in Bosnia where I signed my first pro deal. So I'm very thankful for Rick.
He came to us about 14 months ago. We worked together for a solid 6 months, sent him on his first pro trial in the Philippines. The club didn't want to sign him as a regular player, but they signed him as a training player. He was 18 years old at the time. He came back home to California after the Philippines and he continued his work with us. And then we sent him over to Bosnia where he signed his first pro deal at 19 years old. And as you saw from those 5 players, this isn't impossible, but it's hard. It's hard to do it alone because you don't know how to navigate the landscape. There are so many stars that have to align if you want to play at the pro level. We've run into many players who've been scammed, overwhelmed, and don't know what the next step is. So that's exactly why you're here. So I know what you're gonna say to me next. Rick, you've told me all this information. It sounds excellent, but I'm too old, man. I'm 26 years old. I have a construction job. I'm working 12-hour days. How can I actually do this? My parents don't believe in me. My coaches don't believe in me. My teammates don't believe in me. Absolutely wrong. You have a chance right now that you shouldn't miss and most likely will never get again. The clock is continuing to tick. You're continuing to get older. You can always go back to school. You can always go back home and be comfortable. But now is the time to get uncomfortable and work with someone who's done it himself as your direct mentor, as your direct contact. Work with a guy, work with a team who've helped over 20 players get to the pro level from their amateur level. Every window you wait is another lost year. You can't always say yes to going on a pro trial. So what you need to do today is you need to go to the link below and fill out the application to get on a call with my team to see if you're the right fit to work with us. We'll see you there.